let's get one thing straight. They didn't murder Charlie Kirk because he was an extremist or a fascist or a threat to democracy or inciting violence or any of the other reasons that they're now trying to put out on X and TikTok and everywhere else. They murdered him because he was effective. He was effective. The man made incredible arguments while at the same time always trying to seek out common humanity. He might have disagreed with arguments, but he didn't hate anyone. And they murdered him. That's what happened.
Well, hello there, partner. Go on and hang up your hat, grab yourself a whiskey, and pull up in the easy chair. We're coming off the range of 9 to 5s with a whole herd of news stories that we've been steaming over like a cow patty in the Texas heat. As they say, the chickens are finally coming home to roost. And we're here to ruffle some feathers and ensure accountability ain't just a concept, it's reality. It's that time where the day's drama casts its longest shadow. So let's light a candle to the chaos of current events, the whirlwind of politics, and the tangled webs of corruption that we find ourselves entwined by. It's time to ramble our way into the twilight. Welcome to Sunset Rants.
Hello there. How are you?
Well, hello.
This is going to be an interesting episode for us. Not definitely one I would ever wanted to report, and everyone knows what we'll be talking about tonight. And then apparently there's an FBI report going on. So about half the show is going to be kind of talking about like things that have been going on today with, Charlie's assassination, who it could be and stuff like that. But how I know we were texting, but when all that was happening, I think I might have been the person to kind of lean into it that it happened. But kind of tell us what your experience was like when you found out and all this stuff.
I actually had no clue. I was working on some schoolwork, and my son is the one that came into the room. And I know you had messaged me, but I didn't know specifically what you were talking about. You didn't mention anything specific. And so my son comes into the room and tells me that Charlie Kirk was shot, and I just couldn't believe it. I was like, no way. And so I started looking because I had disconnected from social media. And when I saw the shot, I was just blown. I was left speechless. My instant thought was he's gone. That was it, and
that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, when I heard that he was still alive and he was stable, it was like, well, that's a miracle, because that looked really bad. I've seen a lot of stuff, and out of all the stuff that I've seen, that was probably the one where I was like, he's gone, and so from there I just kept glued to my phone, kept looking for information, and it sounded like things were getting better, but I honestly think that he passed within seconds, maybe a minute after being shot, and they just kind of, I don't know.
Yeah. What up, Brian? You're on mute.
Yeah, I pulled myself in, guys. I don't know if y'all watched the stream last night, but can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Biddy and I, just did a whole stream last night of talking about Charlie. And, I guess this is day 2, but I pulled myself in because, you know, D, what you went through, I went through the same thing. There was a hope spot. You know, hey, we got the news that Charlie is critical but stable. He's getting blood transfusions. That was what we heard. You know, the whole confirmation bias. We were praying
Yes.
so hard for him, and
Yes.
it was such a gut punch to so many of us. And before I get going too much, I know it's called Sunset Rants. I got my rant off last night. I don't want to get us all canceled around here, so I will go ahead and pull myself off the stage.
No,
Yeah. I just
I
when I
yes.
heard the news, I just was non-functional the rest of the day. Like I just couldn't focus on anything. It was so depressing. And I've never been a very emotional person. Um, I've never really mourned like a celebrity, someone that I didn't ever meet. But even getting up today, I couldn't sleep last night. Went to bed like around 4 in the morning. Woke up at about 7, got myself ready for school, and today was just like going through the motions. Like I just, it hurts. Like this hurts. It's just so depressing. I don't even want to talk. Like, like, fuck, you know? I just,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
I
there's
just want this
weirdos.
bastard to get caught as soon as possible. And there's nothing nice that I can say for him. And just being on social media and looking at X, um, these people celebrating are disgusting. They are the scum of the
Yeah, I
earth.
always say this. The
And
tolerant
yeah,
party of destruction and evilness.
yeah, I just cannot understand how a person who is willing to discuss things, to create a national conversation, regardless of how much hate he got, how many death threats he got, he would put on these events in a public open space and be willing to talk about it. And they killed him for it. And then, calling him a Nazi and a fascist and all this bullshit. What? Because of his values, his views? His views will now live on in all of us. And as I posted on my ex as well, I am Charlie Kirk. We are Charlie Kirk. And his message now, if people were like teeter-tottering on the edge, now they're going to full dive in. Men are men. Men cannot be women. Oh, is that so offensive to them? Okay. Um, God is good. God dictates our lives. God helps us through the day. You need to live a godly life. Oh my God, that's so insulting to them. Um, I can't believe that these ideas, that he was supportive of Israel, against Islam, these things, these viewpoints were so offensive to them that they had to kill him. Just, I don't know. I'm just done with these people, and I'm like, I used to be, try to be a little bit nice. Yeah, I would troll and call people names, but I think it's time that these people, we stop being nice to them. We stop reinforcing their behavior by just letting it go. And I'm not saying that we need to be violent or anything like that, but these
That's
people just need to
blasphemy.
be shamed. These people just need to be shamed. They need to know they're retarded. We need to make sure that they get it, and that they suffer the consequences for their stupidity. In of course, in a non-violent way. Um, it just it's just so upsetting. It's just so upsetting. Yeah.
Well, I'll get more into like my thoughts on this, but let's read this article because this was posted just before 6 p.m. today. And so as this FBI releases images of person of interest. Now, you've been on the internet today. You've seen this a little bit ahead of time, but now person of
Yeah.
interest announces a $100,000 reward amid manhunt for Charlie Kirk's killer. The FBI has released images of a person of interest sought in the connection with fatal shooting of Charlie Kirk, the founder of the conservative youth activist organization Turning Point USA. During an event in Utah Valley University on Wednesday, as the search of the shooter continues, we're asking for a public self-identifying this person of interest in connection with the fatal shooting of Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley's University. The FBI Salt Lake City's office said on X on Thursday, while sharing 2 images of the individual, who's wearing a baseball cap and sunglasses, and was captured in a stairwell in one of them. Screenshots report from campus just before the shooting, according to Utah. The FBI said it's offering reward $100,000 information. A high-powered firearm recovered. It has a 30-06. It's like a deer hunting rifle. Yeah, like you don't get. No one really survives that. When the man at the center was believed to be a college-age official said Thursday they are working around the clock to locate the individual. Now, I don't know if anyone saw what else is just kind of saying the other stuff that we've heard. Yeah, I think everyone's so aware of what's going on now. We're gonna be learning the same stuff together as it goes. Just who gets to it first, 5 seconds. But they're even saying, like transgender anti-fascist, which there's some irony to the anti-fascist part on this, like engraved on the shells, like that were in his rifle. But people thought originally it was that old guy, but I guess they were working together. So he actually got arrested for like what's it called? Just messing with what the cops were doing. But,
Yeah, for obstructing.
Yes, but apparently this guy, this specific one, the day prior, he posted like on X. He's like, "Oh, just wait till you see what I'm gonna do or what's gonna happen tomorrow." Like he posted something was gonna happen about this.
Yeah.
If this is the same guy, he wiped out his X account, but from what's going around through like X and all that, is like his name's like Sky Valadez, like he's like
Yeah.
some tranny person. I don't know.
I saw that.
No, could be him, could be not. So really wouldn't find too much of his information other than a few photos that were able to be like reverse search from Google, but it's just shitty. Like I've been watching this guy for like 9 years, 10 years. My friends, they've worked directly with him. Sent me pictures of them like at conferences together. Like, oh hey, like I never met the guy. I always wanted to. Like that was cool. Like like in him, however you want to say it. Like I forgot what did I call it? But everyone at this point like knew him in some form, as far as like if you watched him enough, like or if you had friends who worked with him or met with him, like he was just a nice guy apparently. Cool guy,
Yeah.
awesome guy, God-fearing man. And I forgot that he had mentioned this, but I watched it earlier today, and he was saying, he's like, oh, like aren't you scared? Like what happens when you die? It's like, are you scared to die? And he's like, no, like, and he wasn't saying it to be like brave or cocky. He's like, no, because like I'll go to heaven.
Yeah.
Kind of, I don't know the exact words he said, but no, he's a great guy. And then you'll see these people, these disgusting people. And they're just going on. They're like, oh, he's racist. I'm like, no, he's not. Show me a reason. He's like, oh, well, he said this. And it just, he just means it. You could take it out. There's undertones. I was like, no, it wasn't. Maybe you're just the idiot who thinks that changes words to manipulate your own reality. And that's what these people are. They're delusional. Like they have no sense of reality. They warp reality into like their own, and nothing about it like makes sense. And it's just disgusting
Yeah.
to see just how evil these people are. Like I think everybody, like I'm just like either post is like, rest in peace Charlie, or like it would be rest in peace Charlie, you would love. It would be like, hey, I might not agree with the guy, but this is awful. Like when you have like Obama and Biden, Kamala Harris, George Bush, like Bill, like I don't know if the Clinton said anything, but if you have like all these people, even from across the world, saying all this stuff, like, hey, like, I'm sorry, like, rest in peace. Like everybody liked him. The only people who didn't like him are the people who could not take the fact that he had an opinion. Like he was the idea, the embodiment of what the American First Amendment is,
Yeah.
and like he was the olive branch to have these conversations. He wasn't rude to anybody. He never cursed anyone out. He was very bold on the fact to be respectful to everybody. He'll have his gotcha moments, but it was just those people would put themselves in there. But in no way is that like racist or mean or anything when they're coming to have an argument rather than a debate or to be, you know, um, confrontational. He's always been.
Yeah. Well, he was very gracious and diplomatic. I mean, how many people can carry a debate that way where they could ask him anything and he like he was like a well of information and could come up with answers on the spot and not get tongue tied and not get emotional and erratic. Like a lot of the people he debated with, when people would go up and ask questions, right away they're all shaky and trying to be confrontational. But
Mhm.
he always just kept so cool and collected. Like you said, you know, you're not going to win an argument by being hostile. And he was always like so calm and collected. And it's just the way that he was able to present his ideas and talk to people was just something that not everyone can do. And I think he touched the hearts of a lot of people. I've been seeing some posts on like X where people have said, I might not have agreed with you, but um, like this kind of changed me. I've seen some people saying that now they're going to be Republicans, because of what
Oh,
they
there's a
did
huge
to,
amount.
yeah,
And
there's,
it's and like it sucks with the fact that like he was he was friends with everybody. Even like people like even like mainstream media who were like super like super left on that. He was just a true traditional like conservative. That was it, just classic Republican. There's nothing to be said that's hasn't been said hundreds of times by everyone already, but that's who he was, and everyone still liked him. You know, Cenk Uygur, like he probably is like one person to be like you wouldn't think, but they're fine. Even like with Chris Como or whatever it was. It's but you have these people that are just truly disgusting, and it sucks to the fact that it had to become a martyr in this. And you were saying something along the lines like, "Oh, now it's come to us." And these people that you were saying like they're like, "Hey, I can't support this anymore. Like this is where I draw my line." And it sucks to the fact that you lost someone who would like it's going to be historical. Like I was telling my roommate, like history, like American history took a tragic turn yesterday. And
yeah,
it could be something through his martyr that like becomes like the change, the turning point, if you would. You know, but it's just sad to see that he's not going to be able to be there for that, and especially like his kids. Like, how does and what's even worse is like I saw the video accidentally. Like, I wasn't expecting to see a close up of it, and
yeah,
it was brutal. Like, if you didn't know who he was, or like if it was just a normal, it would still be a disturbing video. But to see a video where the person, like who he is, like see him like all the time, every day, like through everything and how he talks and stuff. Like, never met him personally, but it's still still affect a lot of people. And you do it in front of thousands of people who see it. His kids are going to see that on the internet for the
Yeah.
rest of their lives. Like, once it's on the internet, it's on there for good.
Well, and the thing is too that his wife and his children were there. Yeah,
Yeah.
the report is that the daughter tried running toward the stage. She's real little. I'm thinking
Toddler.
she's maybe like 5 years old or something, but she heard the loud noise and got scared and wanted to run to her daddy. And I mean, that's just fucking heartbreaking, dude. And then, like, I think that's one of the reasons I had such a hard time sleeping last night was because, like, I kept looking over at like my husband and he was asleep in bed, and just the thought of how like his wife must feel knowing that she's never going to see her husband again. Like, it just, wow.
You have to see it. That's, and like the whole world, sees it, and you can't live it down. It's not like you put it away. You watch it. Your kids watch it. Like, that's like life altering stuff. And then it's just even wild is like truly I like to think it was just I don't even know if it's a good way to think or a bad way to think, but it's just truly just as simple as just a fucking loony. Because it just proves the point of everything that he's been preaching and saying. But one of my coworkers, he had texted me this photo that apparently, let me see. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, but there's a security guard. He's like, do you think it was this or this or this? I kind of name out like different tinfoil hat conspiracies that it could be. But I don't know if you could see it. But that was the guy, the same security guard as a Trump shooting, and then he's right there at Charlie's tent. So I was saying, oh, like they shared like security services, if you would, because he had the best that there is, but he's not no president where they're going to be doing it, stuff like that, like because no one would assume, nobody would assume that you're gonna have some weirdo with a hunting rifle like all the way across.
Yeah, I think too, they shared videos and of the shooter on the roof, and I'm not sure if those were videos that were taken prior to the shooting or after the shooting. I'm just
Definitely
not
prior, because
sure.
he's not going to just be standing there after all that commotion, just like
Right. I just, but who are they going to tell? I just don't think anybody would really think this was going to happen. This really was like the worst possible outcome. And yeah, it's heartbreaking. It's this person needs to be caught. And, the fact that they found like Antifa and trans ideology, like carved into this fucking gun. And, the left, well, CNN still refuses to acknowledge that what it was when it's already been widespread knowledge that, this is what it was. Is we have a serious problem and we need to start having a conversation about it, and we need to be able to start putting things in place to
we've been
prevent
having
these things
serious
from happening.
discussions about it. It's such a
Well,
redundant thing to
that's
say. Like, it's been
that's the
fucking
problem,
happening.
though.
It's been
We've
happening.
talked about it. People have talked about it. People up in high places refuse to talk about this. Look at the Democrats. Like look at their stance on this whole thing, right? Hey, let's not let a bad situation go to waste. We got to push gun control, and it's just like you people are so like tone deaf. Like, this is not what it's about. It's when it's political violence against them, they're like, oh, we got to stop political violence. They don't want to get hurt. Oh,
There is no
Ocasio.
political violence against them. That's the
No,
issue.
Alejandro Ocasio on January 6th, they tried to kill me. Bitch, you were in a completely different part of the White House I'm sorry, she wasn't even there in Congress, she was in a different spot, and like security goes through there. It's like, but she had to go and make this whole thing that she was afraid that she was gonna get murdered and all this stuff. And then you got Whitmer with her bogus ass, oh, I was gonna be kidnapped by a bunch of MAGAs. Like, bro, they need to stop with their bullshit and actually acknowledge the problems that are facing our country and deliberate. That's the
It's the
whole
mental
point.
retardedness that's the issue. And the issue is like these people up in like Capitol Hill are coddling these retards. They're coddling them so that way they can get the votes. And these are the same kids that are crying boo hoo, wah wah. These are the same kids who never got spanked, who've never achieved anything, never received any delayed gratification from anything that they've earned or done in life. You know, like you get a trophy for placing last. You get a trophy because you're so fat during a race growing up. And it's that same mentality all through it. And now like you have someone who's just actually just speaking truth or having a normal conversation. The only place in the world where you can actually have a conversation at a place, at an establishment like a college, which is meant to have critical thinking conversations. That was literally the whole purpose of college was for this. And like a higher education, a higher idea of the Socratic method, like
Yeah.
exchanging of ideas. You know, how many times has I've seen dozens of videos where, someone's like did prove him wrong or did say something. He's like, hey, you know what? I take back what I said. Thank you. Or I did not know that. Thank you. I appreciate that. Never like, oh, fuck you, I'm mad. And then that's the
Yeah.
problem. When you have these people who just losers in life and they get coddled by the government, by like social media, by a subculture of each other, pat each other backs for nothing. And then they hear something they don't like, they're gonna cry. And this is the problem. It's
Yeah.
fatherless behavior. It's just no respect. Like they're just babies in adult bodies.
I our government needs to start talking and applying action, because it's not about just sitting there name calling. They need to have a serious conversation. They really do. They don't deliberate at all. They have like four people passing bills for everyone because they don't want to travel. They have gotten so lazy that they spend more time on vacation and not actually getting to work for the people. And so they need to start being held accountable, because if this kind of stuff and this drift with the political parties is happening, it's mainly because of the rhetoric. And these politicians, like I saw a video, I didn't listen to the audio, but that Ilhan Omar is like flapping her lips and saying that Charlie Kirk deserved this. I'm sorry, bro, but like politicians should not be able to speak that way.
No,
They should
no,
not
like
be able to push agendas, narratives, because their words carry more power than like mine. I could sit here and talk all the shit I want, and you know what? I get a few people that hear me here and there. I have my followers on X that maybe like a couple hundred people see my posts, and but they have the whole nation looking at them. And the people that are on the left are extremely radicalized, and they tend to lean towards violence, just like a petulant child that doesn't get their way, that's willing to run over and hit you because you told them no. These are these liberals, and so they're willing to attack, they're willing to do whatever they want or can to get their way. And they're going to listen to these politicians, and it's going to radicalize them even more. So this has to come to an end. Like this, it just needs to stop. Like I think we're all just fucking over it. Something has to be done. The dam is broken. People that weren't even Charlie Kirk supporters or Republicans, or they were centrist to the middle, are starting to wake up a little bit. And we just need to take advantage and not let Charlie Kirk's death be in vain.
No, and so no, and you're right about that. It's like, but there's a few things to be said about that. Like, what can you do? Because it's a slippery slope once you start creating new things, right? You start, if you start like new red flag laws, or if you start like even like someone's like, oh, take away the gun owner rights from like trans. There is like they need to be stricter on the mental health issues. Like, if you're on, and they should have been just as consistent as they should have the entire time, as far as letting them out. But then you get those red flag laws, and then you have what could be a few things. Like he could be the catalyst, the Franz Ferdinand, if you would, to a certain extent, of his loss, creating something of violence, which nobody wants. Because historically we're way past due for something like that, as far as like what like human nature and history goes every couple 110 years or something like that. But then also it's like this people will take it as a reason, like on the right, like people who don't have self-control, who will like start like, oh, that's it, I've had enough, and start committing violence back, and that's going to be the issue. That's going to go against everything that he represented. So,
Oh, look at that. I mean, even this article right here, it's like the suspect was radicalized. Like, no shit,
oh wow, a suspected shooter who critically wounded two students at Evergreen High School in Colorado during the third week of classes this semester appeared to have been radicalized by some extreme network. Some extreme.
Oh, by some.
Oh wow. Well, if you look at that, the suspect, a student at the school, took the school bus that morning and brought them a significant amount of ammunition, said Jackie Kelly, Public Information Officer, Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. He went around the campus searching for new targets as he shot out windows and lockers covering a huge area of school. He had fire and reload. This went on. Sounds like he was just trying to suicide by cop if he was just aimlessly shooting at stuff. Over 100 law enforcement officers swarmed the scene after authorities arrived within 2 minutes. Wow, that is fantastic. That is fantastic. That's like 75 times faster than Vivaldi. Good for them. Whatever. 911 call reporting. First 911 call reporting gunfire about halfway through the school day, where its contact shooter within 5 minutes, as more than 900 students remained on lockdown. I'm glad to be seeing this, because everything's just been so flooded out. I don't know if anyone else noticed, but like everything's just been Charlie. I like seeing his videos.
Yeah.
I like the support that it's getting, but I don't want it to take away, nor would he take away like stuff like this.
This happened yesterday. Had not for the Charlie Kirk thing, this would have led the news yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I did see this yesterday. I mean, yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, you can only be so outraged. You can only feel so like dead inside. So I saw a lot of stuff yesterday, and I'd still feel like that today. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like numb at this point. But did they say what his name was? Suspect was routed by some extreme network, 2 students in condition. So no one perished, which it looks like. Also, Brian, were we able to get that live stream? Desmond Hawley was his name. Oh, dork. Yeah.
I've been looking for it, both Fox and CNN, and I'm not finding it yet.
Okay. So I know I mentioned it, but for those who made a comment or missed what I said, they have supposed to be a live stream with Cash. Supposedly. Like the FBI. Let me see.
I'm looking
So it's
on
it's
the.
just like where do you but it's like where do you go from here? It's like you wouldn't think that one person would be this important, but it's kind of what he was doing, what he was able to do. Oh, officials give update on the manhunt for Charlie. It's on Fox News Live right now on the YouTube. But it's like nobody was like him. Like so that's the big thing. It's
Yeah.
like where does it put the movement now? Like does it give them more power? Does it give that empowerment to keep doing it? Because they already made it a delete list of a lot of people. You know, Tim being one of them as well. And it's like is that going to make the movement lose traction, or is that just gonna, or is it now because like are they gonna feel like scared?
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I'm seeing right now a post by Chloe Cole. Um, she is an advocate for like not what would it be like not transitioning children. She transitioned when she was like a teenager, and then after having top surgery, and I guess she was very close to scheduling bottom surgery, she was like, and then she detransitioned. So she's a huge advocate for, you know, allowing children to find their own and not pumping them with medications and surgeries and cutting stuff off. She just posted, I will continue having conversations on college campuses. It's what Charlie would want, for us to pick up the cross in his wake. Nobody can ever fill the gap that he left, so we need to work together. I'm afraid. I will not lie about that. Nonetheless, it is our calling. So she says she's still going to keep talking on college campuses, which I heard Tim Pool saying that he had canceled all his events.
Not all of it.
But
I mean, some.
some I know that he
I
was
heard him
thinking
talking.
about
I've
it.
heard so much stuff, and like some of it, it's just been like it all just turns into a fever dream at this point with just the amount of like rapid information that I've been
Yeah,
hearing.
but I feel like they need to, like, I feel like they need to be more careful, because they can't just open themselves up. Like, you just can't trust these people. Like, obviously you're going to these campuses where you have um like the youth that have been so radicalized. Like, I don't know, I guess that kind of scares me. Um like, I'm not afraid of individual people, but like being
I'm
in a
afraid of
large
individually
group.
gun if I don't have a gun
Well, yeah, I mean that makes sense, but like Charlie
because
never
I'm
saw the
mental.
gun.
I'm mentally competent. Like
Yeah,
I'm emotionally
but
stable. I'm not
Charlie never
retarded.
saw the gun. Like, he never saw the gun. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a
I
coward.
know
The guy's a coward.
that was a huge
Not Charlie.
risk. No, but like it's a huge risk for him to be out there, especially when the left had just torched him for his comments on Irina, and it's just I almost feel like a
I
fucking
got
brain
it. I'll
fog.
pull it up when they do something.
Okay, cool.
Grassy ass.
Yeah, it's
Those of you that
literally
don't know
almost
that's
like a
Spanish
brain fog. Like,
for good.
that's Spanish for thank you.
No, it's Spanish for good.
What is?
Grassy ass.
No, it's not.
Prove me
Gracias
wrong.
means thank you.
Prove me wrong.
I don't know.
Change
I
my
don't know
mind.
how to prove. I ain't got no damn energy for any of that, dude. Like, no. You know what? Think whatever the hell you want. I don't give a damn. But yeah, I think institutions need to stop uh pushing dumbass shit in colleges.
Yeah, today's a little different. We're kind of a little less organized, but what is this one? You know, everyone's just. So Russia fires drones into Poland days after Trump's meeting with NATO ally. They're saying that I think, did they say that they did it? It's like, why would Poland? Um, just 1 week after President Trump went with Polish President Karol Nawrocki at White House, Russia fired some 24 drones into NATO nation on Wednesday. The assault prompted NATO allies the military respond to the apparent Russian attack. For the first time, Poland to the closest it has been to open conflict since World War II. The move also prompted Trump to issue an ominous message on social media in which he said, "What's with Russia violating Poland's airspace with drones? Here we go." The Kremlin on Wednesday claimed there is no evidence that the drones were of Russian origin. What if that is true? What if it's, like a psyop? I'm not a psyop, but like everyone's buying from the same places.
Yeah. Well,
So,
what is it? Isn't it Ukraine that's like notorious for using drones and then doing dumb shit and blaming it on other people, and then you find out it was them?
they shot a freaking missile at Poland, or was it Germany?
Yeah. Well, I think it was like not at them, but it like blew up on the border or something, and then with
It deviated like 200 miles.
yeah, something like that. And the whole thing trying to say that that Russia was like firing like rockets at Chernobyl or something like that, and ooh, I don't know, they just like to talk a lot of shit. But I don't know, it's very possible that it's not. It's a big nothing burger, and who knows
Yeah,
really at this point.
I'm like, why would Russia? It just doesn't make sense. If Russia is kind of like at ends with Ukraine, even for a superpower, they're kind of like wearing thin, if you would, unless they're just wasting all their old resources so they can use the new ones. But Poland's like the most armed place. Like they
Yeah.
are like the daddy of Europe when it comes to military like power. Like they are more than over equipped to handle anything.
I just don't think Russia is that stupid, though. Like, I just don't think that they would make such a poor decision. Like,
Yeah,
okay, I think most of their decisions are a little bit more strategic, right? Like, it's because of something, and they're not just going to bomb or send a drone or do anything just for the fuck of it, Like, hey, let's see what happens if we do this. I don't think they're on that level of like FAFO,
Yeah, but also it's been pretty. I won't say for everything, but if he does something, he's like, "Yeah, that was me." The guy did it.
Yeah.
Like, so Hardy agrees with me. He says, "Bueno means good."
What?
Quédate
Hardy said what?
quédate con inglés. I'm just reading the chat on YouTube.
No. Hardy says, quédate con el inglés, Tay, which means just stick to English.
I didn't know you spoke Mandarin. Now he's speaking Mandarin. So you speak Mandarin, but not Spanish. That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I guess you're never going to start doing this. Do you think they found him?
I don't know. I saw this other post where I don't know if it's gonna come up or not.
And I guess we could just keep going with the regular coverage. So this one is interesting too, but it's no, my computer. So this one's interesting because it doesn't really go into detail, but multiple HBCUs under lockdown after receiving terroristic threats. Um, and it's just kind of a weird time for someone to be doing that amidst this, because if you're trying to do that, you're trying to make an impression. But why would
Yeah.
you make such a big impression when it's going to be overshadowed so easily? You know, like this is a big deal for it to happen. But nothing for nothing, America's not. There's it's going to blend in with like the school shooting violence, which just because it's just so much. But multiple historically black colleges and universities, or HBCUs, have gone into lockdown after threats were directed at campus, school officials announced. Alabama State, Hampton University, Virginia State University, Southern University, and A&M College, Bethune-Cookman, like that school, locked down the morning on Thursday, September 11th, each citing potential threats made against campuses. What were they? Who made them? The lockdown at Southern University was later lifted, but all campus activities and classes were canceled after the weekend. That's a smart move. Spelman College in Atlanta also has students and faculty to avoid campus. Let's see. Increased security measures due to a threat against nearby Clark Atlanta University. Through shelter in place order later lifted. Clark Atlanta University confirmed statement to USA Today that campus police are investigating threats. So it doesn't say what the threats are, just say terrorist threats.
Yeah. I mean,
It's just, I mean, I hope it's, like, I think it's real, but it just doesn't make sense. Like, why would you send HBC threats like through that vast of a, across hundreds of miles for different individual ones?
yeah, the article is just so broad. There's just so much in
This-
there that's left out. Like
I'm surprised that
threats.
they, with the lack, like going through this, like team, honestly, like I could read it to you, but there's literally no information on it. I'm just more surprised that they were able to put this many words for nothing. Here, I'll even read it, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We're working in close coordination with the appropriate law enforcement agencies to assess the situation and ensure the safety and security of all of our students, faculty, staff, and our broader ASU communities. This statement said. Hampton University canceled classes September 11 and 12, saying a statement. So it's just saying what the statement said. Like, for closing, while the university did not receive any threats, the school said that it will suspend in-person classes. We stand in solidarity with institutions currently under lockdown. Yeah, that's it. Like, it's sick that someone would do it like to that many campuses, but just the lack of information is just weird.
Doug. Sounds fishy. It's Juicy Smollett vibe. The Juicy Smollett vibe.
I can't see this. What you're seeing is what I can't see what you're seeing.
Oh, I think that's on
I'm looking through YouTube too.
no, that's on Rumble.
Computer. Huh.
Yeah. It's the juicy. I mean, it is very sus. I think there's a lot that's going to come out from the left because, I mean, they're so hell-bent on painting Republicans and MAGA as being extremists and violent, even though the majority of the time we just turn the other cheek. Like, we might call someone a
Stupid,
retard, but we turn the other cheek because we don't want to stoop down to their level. right? Like we hold ourselves at a higher standard. And so they're trying to paint us being violent and us wanting this and us wanting that. I I'm not gonna lie, I sure as hell made fun of Joe Biden when when he got his diagnosis, but I didn't wish for him to die. I don't want any of these people to die. I want them to go to prison. Like I want them to be held accountable. Like I don't want them to be able to hide and just live the rest of their lives, all peaceful. I at least get the public.
Do you think it's a
What
jealousy?
what did,
Do you think that
huh?
these people are just there's like a low key jealousy factor to it? Like, like the stereotypical like high school like cool kid jocks that are smart and they're just in their cool circle. Then you have like the other like weirdo kids that are just like mean and just don't get accepted into like the cool kid circle. So this is the same situation but in the real world.
Probably, dude. Like I don't know. I at least a public acknowledgement that these people were trash. I guess that's what I want. Because these people, just the way that they've changed the laws and everything's to benefit them, they're never going to face real consequences. But at least the public humiliation would be kind of nice, and but I don't want their deaths. Like I've never wished any of these people's deaths.
I still got my eye on the press conference. Still nothing going on there yet. But in the meantime, we'll go ahead and bring up what. Hold on.
We're holding.
Oh man, you're edging me so hard.
Oh,
Here we go. Are we able to get audio on that?
Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here today. My name is Hillary.
He's going to climb off the edge and then drop down to the ground. As he did that, he left some palm impressions. There's some smudges in some places we're looking to collect DNA. There's a shoe imprint where we believe the suspect is clearly identified as wearing Converse tennis shoes. Again, we'll replay that again so you can get another view of that. It's important to note his black t-shirt, his black pants, and there appears to be some white on the soles of those Converse tennis shoes. Those are all identifiable items that we're looking for. In the stills that are going to follow this, you're going to see a very distinctive t-shirt.
This is live feed from the AP, folks.
There's also a baseball cap with a triangle on it and a pair of sunglasses. All distinctive, all things that we would ask the public to look for and try to identify if they know someone who has those items, who has been seen wearing those items. We're looking for all that information. Here you see the suspect after dropping off the building. He moved around across this grassy area, around the parking lot. We're going to pan to the right. After he crosses the street, this is where he moves over into the wooded area. This is the video evidence that we utilize to track his movements and to locate that firearm in that wooded area following the discovery of this evidence. You want to go to the stills? So here's the still photographs. I mentioned these have been enhanced. So these are slightly different than what we introduced earlier. Please pay close attention to the t-shirt. Like I said, very distinctive with that American flag and that eagle. The hat with the triangle and the sunglasses. If you go to the next picture, please. The backpack as well. All identifying features that we're hoping the public can help us identify and lead us to this suspect. Next picture. And again, there's a better picture of the hat with that triangle logo, and again, the t-shirt, blue jeans, and you get a good look at those Converse tennis shoes as well. We have pushed these out. We'll continue to push these out, and we just ask for the public's cooperation through the public. The tips that have been coming in are what are giving us our next leads and enabling us to continue to further this investigation. We've had great cooperation from the public, and we're continuing to ask for that as we move forward. Thank you, and I'll turn the time back over to Governor Cox.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Mason. I want to thank Director Patel and his team. It's great to have them on the ground with us tonight. We've had several briefings, and he's had an opportunity to walk the crime scene. We appreciate our local law enforcement here. Again, we have Mike Smith, who is the county sheriff here. We have all of our local chiefs of police that are here as well, all working hand in hand with the state and with the FBI as we move forward with this investigation. Now, just give you a little warning, we will not be taking any questions at this time. That we're giving you the latest information we have, being as transparent with everything that we have. But I do want to share a couple of things that I think are important. We cannot do our job without the public's help right now. The public has answered our call for action. So far, we've received more than 7,000 leads and tips. I would just note that the FBI hasn't received this many digital media tips from the public since the Boston Marathon bombing. This case also highlights the dedication of our law enforcement community. We have 20 federal, state, and local law enforcement partners that are working shoulder to shoulder to find the person who committed this horrific crime. With their support, we've completed nearly 200 interviews. As you're aware, as has already been reported, the FBI is offering a $100,000 reward for information leading to the identification and arrest of the person responsible for the murder of Charlie Kirk. We also continue to implore the public to support this investigation and come forward with any information. We are truly hopeful that this video and new photos will lead to even more tips. We are processing. We have an incredible team, a state and federal team working together to process those tips. We're going out in tandem to interview any potential person of interest or suspects. But we need, again, we need as much help as we can possibly get. Any videos or photos that you might have, the public, should be submitted to our digital media tip line, which is www.fbi.gov/Utah Valley shooting, all lowercase. Again, that is fbi.gov/Utah Valley shooting, all lowercase. You can also provide general tips about the shooting by calling 1-800-CALL-FBI. That's 1-800-CALL-FBI, or at tips.fbi.gov. This is, I would just say, this is not just a local matter here in Utah. We have people all over the country that are helping to bring this perpetrator to justice for Charlie Kirk and his family. I will just add as well that, as was mentioned, there is a lot of forensic evidence that is being processed right now at both the state lab and the federal labs, federal lab on the East Coast. So we are working in tandem together. I would also just add a word of note for those people who are spending so much time on social media. I think Charlie said it best, that when things get bad, we should put our phones down and spend a little time with our families. There is a tremendous amount of disinformation. We are tracking our team, the state team, and I'm sure the federal team as well. What we're seeing is our adversaries want violence. China, we have bots from Russia, China, all over the world that are trying to instill disinformation and encourage violence. I would encourage you to ignore those, to turn off those streams, and spend a little more time with our families. We desperately need some healing. We'll have more to say about that in the days and weeks to come. More than anything, we are going to catch this person. Last thing I will just say is we've been working with our attorneys, getting everything that we need, affidavits ready, so that we can pursue the death penalty in this case, and that will happen here in the state of Utah. Again, to the public, to those who are grieving, thank you for your prayers. I know we are feeling those prayers. I know the Kirk family is feeling those prayers as well. We pray that God will bless our nation at this very dark time. We can start healing by finding this perpetrator and holding him accountable, and we need your help to do that. Thank you.
Wow.
That's why I'm saying, shoot the dream. We don't care about sense to us.
That's it.
I don't know. That's what he was saying. I'm just relaying the message. Well, I know. I was trying to zoom in on the video, but I want to make sure because they're streaming on digital. I want to make sure it looks nice. Are they streaming on digital?
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, I still hear the audio in the back.
Yeah, me too. Oh, that's a hot mic. They were saying some weird stuff
Yeah,
there.
I mean, I do enjoy the fact that that the governor had mentioned that. That it does make sense. I think it is right that he said that. Because it's just negativity. And I don't think it's good that we want to stay a part of it and see what's going on, but if it's just what we focus on, it's just gonna detract us from things that we have to focus on, in the real world. Being there for our families, focusing on our work, our studies, working on ourselves. So
Yeah.
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 But let's just jump into caption this.
Yeah. Let's do it.
The hell? What the fuck is this?
I don't know. It's almost like a super, like, I don't know, maybe the best anti-hero. I don't know if you could even call it that.
It's that's the wrong
Yeah,
kind of.
that's like your Timu hero.
Alright. I'm getting sleepy too.
Oh God, yeah. I only slept a few hours.
Yeah, but come on, bring it back. We need some some pizzazz from it.
Yeah,
I got nothing for this one.
me either. I'm not gonna lie. I think that's probably the best. It's like you wanted Superman and you got this shit.
If there is a time for freaking Vash to use his AI, now would be it.
I'm sure he will. He's getting fueled up. A turd burglar.
Have you seen my cousin Walter?
Huh.
Steal one shit at a time.
There's a I guess 4chan identified the person that they're saying was the shooter. This guy Valdez.
Yep, that's what I was mentioning earlier.
But supposedly he had debated Charlie Kirk not too long ago.
Really?
Yeah, they said he lives in Utah as well.
Did he get schooled?
I don't know. Hold on, I'm gonna look through these pictures real quick. What the hell? Let's see what these pictures are. Because they have a side by
looking too.
side. I just posted it, so.
I would be angry too if my name was Sky.
Supposedly he had a song called Charlie Kirk Dead at 31 on SoundCloud and then took it off.
I did hear about that. You reminded me of that now. Dude, loser. They're all losers. They're just angry at life about everything. Bring back the mental asylum so they can live in their alternate realities. Or find a really big island, a continent, if you would. We can name it Australia, and you just ship everybody who's like prisoners and the mentally ill there.
It'd be a
I know no one's done that before in history, so I might be the first to think of it.
they were saying there was another
Another
shooting at a naval academy.
When?
I don't know, I guess today.
That sucks. It's always the mentally ill. You never notice, like, evil always finds a way. This is what, and it's always like shootings only happen because these people are cowards. They do it where they know they can't get caught.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they get caught, but you understand my opinion.
There's a
Yeah,
winner.
it's
Shatman.
ooh.
Jennifer Shatman.
Oh
Stop
shit,
yelling.
man. Sorry, I was not even looking at that.
That scared me. We were like talking like all cool and like, Chatman. Shatman. I'm for it. Let's go. But all right.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good one.
Yeah, there's not really much for us to say, like, that we haven't said, hopefully, I hope they find this guy alive.
Me too. I mean, they always seem to puss out like a bitch and take themselves out. So, I mean, they'd rather do that than face the consequences. So, I'm like, hopefully they get him alive. And, yeah, so we get to, death
And if-
penalty, baby.
Yeah, and so the thing too is, he would be sent to a maximum security prison. So he would be till that time comes where they euthanize him. I think they're gonna just let him draw out all the way, but he'll be in solitary confinement for the rest of his life. And it's not like a fun solitary confinement. Like there's no windows, you don't see the guards, you don't hear any sounds, you don't see any TV. I think you go outside once for 30 minutes, once a week, or something like that. You have when there's zero, like it's the ultimate torture. Like I did solitary confinement for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. I don't know. I forget because it just blends in, but it's the worst.
Yeah.
Like
I've heard.
yeah, the death penalty he would want it, but if they draw it out, like and you just sleep on a stone. Like there's zero comfort. So
Yeah, I hope he never has another comfortable day in his life and he's hiding like a fucking rat. And I hope he gets caught soon and he has to face the consequences. Yeah, his life is definitely forfeit. The minute he did that and he did it just to be silence the voice of someone who he didn't agree with, that's the moment where like his life became forfeit. So
If this would I really hope that since this is considered like, you know, like a terroristic act, that means it's federal. So since it would go federal, then oh wait, no, it wouldn't. I wonder if they would make an exception because it was Charlie. If they could air it like nationally. Because I know that was like a thing with like the Diddy trials where like they wouldn't or they couldn't. But this is a lot more severe than that.
yeah.
So, because I would love to see what this guy says, because like that means by association, like all that just nasty delusional sentiment would be aired out by him, and that would be the set example, and that would literally change like the whole dynamic of like just people like you and I just existing in normal, supposed to be lives, to like everyone's life just being affected and like harassed by like a 1% of these mentally deranged folks.
Yeah. I don't know. That's all I got. I'm sorry today was just not. Yeah, I just feel like brain dead. So I'm ready to call it. I'm ready to call it. I'm gonna go spend time with my husband, and I think it's just we just need to hold our family close because you just never know.
No, that's fair. No, I don't have a husband, so but I got a cute little TY beanie baby of Groot that I bought when I was drunk. So I have that. It was at 7-Eleven.
Better than your hand. All right. Well, good night, everybody. Yeah, this wasn't the best, most fun episode that we covered, but you know, we're trying to get through it too. Just remember, stay safe and stay vigilant and avoid liberals. Good night, y'all.
Guys, you know where to find us. We'll see you guys on Tuesday. Please be safe this weekend. You know, and I always, you know, if you get a drink, take an Uber, you know, hug your loved ones, and you know, try to stay off social media for a little bit. The stuff can get poisoned and drag you down. We love you guys.
So I got to thinking, there's MAHA, Make America Healthy Again. MAGA, Make America Great Again. But what we really need to do is make America follow the Constitution again. Motherfucker. That sounded better in my head.